Hello everyone and welcome to Book Days. Today's adventure has brought us to Concordia University, Texas, a university that sits in the heart of Austin, Texas, and has a beautiful nature preserve as a part of its campus. Is that crazy? It's super gorgeous, and we are featuring the book today, none other than We're Going on a Bear Hunt, the classic. And we go down into the preserve on our very own bear hunt. Let's go. So for today's adventure, we are here on the preserve, and I'm here with Zach Stark, the Director of Environmental Stewardship here at Concordia. So Zach, I'm super excited for this preserve tour, and I'll let you take it away.
All right, thank you, Cassie. Well, it's wonderful to be here. It's a gorgeous day here on the Concordia Preserve. We're blessed here at the university to have a 250-acre nature preserve that's part of the Balcones Canyonlands. And it's a very unique piece of property. The Concordia campus itself is about 440 acres, but we have this piece set aside in preservation and conservation as part of the Balcones Canyonlands, which is about a 30,000 acre system of preserved lands here in northwest Austin. It's a very unique place. We've got some very specialized habitat that is home to threatened and endangered species. We can talk about those a little bit, but it's just an amazing, unique place, and I'm looking forward to showing y'all a little tour and glimpse down inside the preserve this afternoon. So let's take a little hike down into the canyon here, and it's a gorgeous day. You'll notice that it's very shaded. We've got lots of leaves starting to fall, and the temperature usually drops as we go down into the canyon as the shade and the cool air settles down into the canyon here.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll point out over here that we have a rock feature, a little cave that's tucked away behind some of those branches back down that way.
Oh. Any bears down here? I know the kids are wondering.
Anything's possible. Yep. This is one of our first unique kind of pretty stops along the way.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Wow.
And so this is an unnamed tributary of West Bull Creek, or Bull Creek itself. And we have a spring source up above that little cave that I pointed out back there. There's a spring that's trickling out and feeding this water down through this canyon.
Wow.
And it's carved out through the rocks with a process of erosion, and it's left us this awesome little waterway and these beautiful, really crystal clear pools. To see some leaves falling and the vines growing up. Got really large trees down throughout the canyon, cottonwood trees and American sycamore trees, and walnuts and pecans.
Wow.
It's a really amazing place. One of the features that we like to point out over here is where these maidenhair ferns are next to this large sycamore tree. That's actually a natural waterfall or dam feature called a tufa, and it's been created by the processes of erosion and sticks and roots and branches and leaves and things that have all started to decompose, and it creates this living organism, this natural dam and waterfall, and that provides a nice little habitat under there for all sorts of different wildlife. One that's real special to the preserve is the Jollyville Plateau salamander.
I've heard of that.
It is. It's really, we sit on a geographic region at Concordia called the Jollyville Plateau, and there's a special species of threatened salamander that lives right here. It can be right here in the waterways. And it's something that we work to try and manage and protect with our partners, and it's really special. It's endemic only to just a handful of tributaries right here in the Balcones Canyonlands. It's really special.
Wow.
So that's one of the main reasons when we talk about preservation and conservation of these spaces. It's for all these unique special species that we need to preserve their habitats and keep them safe and beautiful.
Aww.
So we're going to go over the bridge here. We've got a handful of fun bridges to go walking across.
Oh, look how fun. Now, have you ever seen snakes down here? I'm assuming you have.
I have seen snakes. I've seen snakes, lizards, different types of birds. I was down here earlier and I saw an armadillo.
Oh, wow.
And there's all sorts of interesting creatures that live. Some come out at night, some come out during the day.
This really looks like we're going on a bear hunt down here.
It really does. It really does. We have different little bits of signage to identify certain species of plants.
Beautyberry.
Share that with our community.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful plant.
I'm assuming it's not edible.
It actually is edible. They're not very tasty, but they are edible. So this is kind of a special spot. You can see some of the trees haven't quite grown up and filled this space, and you can get a sense for how tall these trees are. A lot of these are 70, 80-foot trees.
Wow.
And it's really gorgeous. You've got some beautyberry and some other wildflowers and things that are growing here that are really, really gorgeous. And so, just up above us is campus, but just down below you have this amazing habitat. This is a really amazing vine called a rattan vine. It's really a large one, very strong.
Wow. Look how thick this is. That's massive.
Yeah, that one's really large.
Good.
The smaller, more pliable ones can be used as a rope or sometimes built into an actual furniture. One other thing I wanted to mention is that we have another species that was part of the creation of the Balcones Canyonlands preserve system, and that is the golden-cheeked warbler.
Ah,
and that's
yes.
A special, if you remember,
I do remember on campus hearing about that.
And that's a special songbird. It's an endangered species, and due to habitat loss and the trees, this one here, which is called the ash juniper, or commonly known as the cedar tree.
Okay.
And it has this kind of the mature trees will develop this sort of strip-like paper bark.
Oh.
You can see that it kind of wants to peel off the tree.
Uh-huh.
Well, the golden-cheeked warbler will come in, migrates from Central America, and it comes up in the late February, early March, and it will come in and it will nest here in the hill country. And that's really special because it nests nowhere else in the world except for the hill country. And so it's found throughout the hill country in a number of counties, but it's very unique. And it will come here to the Concordia Preserve, and the same birds will know, and they will come back year over year to the same locations. It's really fascinating.
Wow.
And they will use that paper-like bark to build their nests.
Oh.
And so they became endangered as habitat was being lost due to development, and these specific trees were being cut down, because without the cedar tree, they can't build their nests, because that's their primary nesting material.
Wow. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day down here on the pond, and different, we really, there's a number of different species of fish that are down in the pond. You'll see our library up in the background, the one over there. So some lucky students possibly have a really good view of the pond from their room. See, we have some different bird boxes. Those are for wood ducks. Here on the pond. We get different resident birds that come and hang out different times of the year with us. They'll come in the winter when they migrate down, and sometimes they'll just call this place home for a few months, and then they may take off again, or just kind of use it as a stopover on their migration, place to rest and relax before they continue on. So, really a beautiful spot. And as the leaves start to change and everything else, it's just a great time of year to be here.
Oh, and the butterflies.
Yeah. Looks like that's a little small monarch butterfly. That's another migrating stopover.
They're on their way to Mexico right now, right?
I was going to say, it would be that time of year. There's some other similar butterflies, but I believe that's monarch. So our daily lives interact with this space more than we know. And so we try to do our best to educate and share the beauty with everyone. It's wonderful to have y'all here and get the chance to share this with everybody.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome.
And unfortunately, we didn't find any bears, but we found a cave. We'll have to settle for that today. Well, thanks so much for joining us for this Book Day episode down here at Concordia University, Texas Nature Preserve. Be sure to tune in next time for another fun-filled episode. Bye.